This is the USFL Network, and we are live in one of a kind. I want to send a huge shout out to our very own Day One Maulers fan. Find him on Twitter at Pitt Maulers Day One. He is our graphics guy and has done some incredible things for us. So we thank you. Be sure to follow his account. One last thing, Pitt's life would be complete if he can get a follow from Maulers quarterback Kyle Loletta. So just throwing that out there for him. Alongside myself is my co-host Webb. Webb, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Very good. You can find Webb at USFL Network Web or at USFL Network Web. He is also on the network's He is also the network's New Orleans Breakers correspondent. That account can be also found on Twitter at NOLA Breakdown. We also have another special guest with us tonight. Webb, if you want to go ahead and introduce our other co-host.
All right, thanks, Hype. I'm excited to do this interview with my good friend, a role model, a former boss, a great writer, the collectible extraordinaire, Tony Reed.
How's it going, guys?
You can follow him on Reed Rattlecage and all the social media. Thanks for joining us, Tony.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Very good. Very good, guys. Thank you all for being here, of course. And the man of the hour, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest tonight. He is drafted tight end Matt Seybert for the Pittsburgh Maulers. Matt, welcome. Thank you for joining us. How are you tonight, sir?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm great. Just chilling right now. I appreciate you guys having me.
The same. I mean, the pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much for joining us. We couldn't thank you enough. So, how are things right now? How is everything going?
Everything's great. I'm out here training in Phoenix, Arizona, and we have a pretty good schedule going right now. We do routes Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and then we're in the weight room Monday through Friday. We have a receiver coach and a weight room coach, so we're getting ready for, and it's going well. And we're competing. We treat Saturdays like a game day. We just got a one-on-ones today and like 7-on-7 DBs and stuff. So.
Nice.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, Webb, you want to kick us off?
Hey, Matt. So I was watching some of your tape getting ready for this interview, and you remind me of another NFL Pittsburgh tight end, Heath Miller. You got that big target. You like to hit. You like to mix up with the line. You fit perfectly from what the analysts say about Kirby Wilson being the running back coach, traditional offense. You're like that traditional tight end. I know you haven't practiced with him, but tell us how you feel your game's going to fit in with the Maulers.
First off, I appreciate that comparison. That's very generous of you. Yeah, with this offense, it's like my home. It's like Michigan State. It's that pro style offense. It's gonna allow me to go smack a D end or a linebacker under the chin, and it's also gonna allow me to get behind linebackers in the pass game. So I'm excited as heck to be able to do both and be able to show people that I'm a true balanced tight end, and I think our whole offense is gonna really thrive in this. I can't wait to meet my new teammates and get that chemistry going.
Now, speaking of highlights, I actually have a small clip I want to go ahead and play from Matt from your time. And there's no sound, so if you want to just go, it's a short clip, but just to break it down, it's some past footage that I found it was incredible. Shows off your talent, so I'm going to just throw it up on the screen, and then take it from here.
All right, yeah, I'll break it down with you.
Like, beautiful, can't be stopped.
Yeah, it's not on my screen.
Oh, you can't see this? You cannot see it?
No, it's not.
Oh, no. Okay.
It's all good.
Well, I mean, you're taking it to the house pretty much right now.
Who are we playing?
It's the lineman.
Okay.
And seeing you can't see it, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I thought, this last play right here, it's against Alphys. You were down 19-7, but you just scored a touchdown, and you do the salute at the end, taking it in for 6. So it was a beautiful moment. The highlight was great, and I'm so sorry that you weren't able to see it.
I can see it. I can see it.
Hey Matt, I'm a Pennsylvania guy, so naturally I'm going to be a Maulers fan. Pittsburgh specifically is such a blue collar town, such a bring your lunch pail to work kind of city, and your mentality and what you've shown on the field fits in so perfectly. How excited are you to be a part of that culture in Pittsburgh itself?
That's funny you say that because I've never been to Pittsburgh, but when I got drafted there, that's what I thought of was like the blue collar. I come to work, and I just felt like that was perfect, perfect place for me to be. That's just perfect, and I'm excited to be able to play for a city like that. I've heard nothing but great things about Pittsburgh, and yeah, I love tough people, and it sounds like Pittsburgh got a lot of those people.
Steel City, absolutely.
And when you got word that you were indeed drafted by the Maulers and you were going to have the opportunity to still continue to pursue your passion and play football professionally at a high level, what was going through your mind? What were the emotions when you got the call that it was official?
Yeah. Personally, like I felt pretty confident in going into the draft, but you never know. And so when I got the call, I just was just so like the biggest relief that I knew that my dream was still intact, because it's like the one thing that keeps me going every day. That's my main dream, and so it meant the world to me that they picked me as the third tight end, and I was so excited because right away I was just ready to go, play. And me and my buddy Sal Canelo were standing right by each other. He got drafted to New Orleans, he's number 2 tight end. We trained together today, so we were drafted back to standing right by. It was fun for us, it was a good time.
Heck yeah. So as far as your team, as everything's kind of gelling and meshing, the draft obviously is come and gone. Are there any particular teammates that you know from the past or have seen that you're kind of looking forward to lacing up the helmet with, putting the chin strap on and playing alongside?
Yeah, so I've been in contact with both quarterbacks. Josh Love, we used to throw out in Phoenix times. We got along real well. We just chopped it up, got along. Josh is a great quarterback, great dude. So I know him, not too personal, but I know him on a personal basis. So that was awesome to see him and I on the same team. And then Kyle, he hit me up, and he was with the Jaguars with my buddy Matt Sokol. He played tight end at Michigan State with me. And so I got some connections through Michigan State and stuff. And Kyle seems like an awesome dude, great family man. And yeah, I'm really excited to get going with both those guys. Other than that, I don't know anybody personally.
Yeah. So just in general, I mean, I know you're a football player by trade, but you're really a fighter. From back in your high school days, like you said, coming from a small school up north, lost your senior season due to injury, kind of passed up on the scholarship to kind of go pursue a dream and do it the hard way at Michigan State, battled injuries there, position changes, a run 2 times over with the Chargers. And then just even moving forward, can you just talk about that never say die mindset, that daily grind, and how you kind of, I guess, embrace that every day?
Man, you did your research for sure.
I did.
Every single step. Yeah. Anytime anything bad, I don't want to say bad happens, but like doesn't go my way, I just like tell myself that it's just gonna make the story better because there's no way I'm gonna quit. I'm just never gonna quit, and so every time that there's a bump in the road is just like another part to the story. So it's all going to be worth it in the end. And so I just am a firm believer that if you just keep going, then something good's bound to happen. If you just stay on the right track, stay out of trouble and just keep getting better, then something good's going to happen. So yeah, I refuse to quit, and it's worked out so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That type of mindset is also needed for like big games. I'm a big atmosphere guy. Nothing better than a big game on TV with electric atmosphere. Yeah. Like go to Columbus as a Sparty, or even like Baton Rouge on a Saturday night. Yeah. I can only imagine what it's like for you guys on the sideline. Tell us about the craziest atmosphere you've been a part of.
Yeah, you can ask my buddies. The atmosphere is one of my favorite parts of the game. And I always tell everyone, all the Michigan people I talk to, they're like, we both hate Ohio State. And I say out loud, I'm like, I don't know. I kind of love Ohio State because that place rock. Sure, rocking. That place awesome. Favorite place to play. There's nothing like playing in front of 110,000 people. There's nothing like it. And so the atmosphere and the fans is what makes it, enhances the game even more. There's nothing better than a good atmosphere. So yeah, I love the big atmosphere, the big stage. It just gives you a feeling that you can't really recreate.
Yeah, kind of speaking again of that big atmosphere, you're a big play, big energy guy, but it's positive energy. Can you just talk about how you're going to continue to bring that to the USFL? Like I've seen a number of your clips, and there's guys that are energy guys, but there can be negative energy to be a positive guy. Can you just speak to kind of embracing that role in the USFL?
Yeah, really, it's just I try and find a fine line about being about my business, but also enjoying the game, And like I just try and remind myself that since I was a little kid, that this is all I wanted to do, and like I saw myself doing it, and now I'm doing it, and so I'm gonna make sure I have fun with it, but bring that energy too, because you got to play with passion, and playing with passion is just gonna enhance your, not with emotion, but with passion. So when you're passionate about something, it'll naturally come out. There's a lot of there'll be a lot of, players who have a lot of rah-rah and a lot of talk, but, I just really just play with passion. It's just natural. I love what I do. And football is like, it just feels like home to me. So.
Heck yeah. And speaking of something, you don't get enough credit for being a big play guy. 13 of your 26 receptions as a senior were for touchdowns or first downs. Like that's legit big play. How are we going to bring that to the Maulers here in Pittsburgh?
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think of myself as a reliable target. If the quarterback throws me the ball, you can trust that it's going to come down as completion. And so, whenever my team needs that moment, that big play to get a first down or a touchdown in a crucial moment, then, I'm all for it. If the coach calls my number, then I would, I love that opportunity because I'm confident in myself and my hands that I'm reliable and I'll come through for my teammates because at the end of the day, winning is the most important thing.
Speaking of being reliable, when you were younger, you were pretty reliable on the baseball field. You were hitting tape measure bombs. That was your first, huh?
You were doing your research.
Yeah, damn right I was. Yeah, I came prepared.
Bombs, huh?
So that was your first love, but you had a really special conversation with your high school football coach that kind of turned the tide. Can you just speak to that and what that conversation has done for and to your career?
Yeah, baseball. I always wanted to play in the MLB. I was obsessed with baseball. I had some colleges looking at me and stuff, but yeah, sophomore year or was it freshman year? I forgot which one in high school. Me and my coach had talked, and he just said that you got the potential and you got the height and the frame for a Division I football player. And it's like not everyone gets that opportunity. So if you just live in the weight room and put some muscle on, then you're going to get that opportunity. So ever since we had that, special talk, that I kind of just became obsessed with lifting and getting stronger. And I just became obsessed with getting better with my strength and speed and stuff like that. Ever since then, I've slowly continued to get faster and stronger each year. Even this year, I mean, we hit this speed treadmill over at the training facility, and last year I was running 21.9 miles per hour on it, and now I'm hitting 22.9. And so it's just like we just keep getting better, and that's all. I'm just in love with getting better.
Yeah.
Now, really quick, I'm sorry, Webb. Really quick, we did mention baseball. I'm also a big baseball guy. That's my number one sport, of course. So, I mean, growing up, what was your favorite team?
Detroit Tigers. My brother worked for the Tigers for 4 years. He played at Wichita State for a little bit. Yeah, Detroit Tigers was my favorite team growing up, for sure.
Very good. And all-time favorite player?
Ooh, it's got to be Miguel Cabrera or David Ortiz.
All right, Big Papi all day, because I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm up in Boston, so that's my guy right there. So that's all good for me. Good answer for me. That's great. That's all I wanted to hear. All right, Webb, I'm sorry. Go for it.
Well, now we come to the part of the show where it's just quick hitting questions, just simple answers. Nothing crazy, not football related. Well, some are, but so if you weren't playing football and now we find out if you weren't playing baseball, what would Matt be doing in his life? Acting.
Yeah.
Did you do acting in college?
I took one theater class, but I got really into acting as soon as I left college. I've been taking acting school now for 2.5 years, improv and script, and I've been at Warner Bros. Actually for like about 4 months before, like last 4 months.
Nice.
Wow.
So if I'm planning a road trip to East Lansing, what's the go-to spot for good food?
Oh man.
You only pick one. You only pick one.
I gotta say, I'm tweaking right now. There's a restaurant called Boston's. I love Boston's. Me and my closest group of friends went to Boston's at least 3 times a week. So,
Okay. What kind of food they got?
it's like American bar food. It's just a sports place. So you just got the flats like B-Dubs, but
Yep.
no shot to B-Dubs. That's just better food.
Local. Right now, since you're an actor, what's your favorite show right now? What are you watching?
My favorite show of all time is Outer Banks, but All American is up there. I work with All American, the show All American, so I know all those guys up there. So that's one of my favorites.
Okay. All right. And since our friend Tony is on, he's a big collectible guy. What's the coolest thing you have from your football career?
I gotta say my first pair of NFL gloves that I used. I think that's pretty cool. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. It's been great to talk to you. Tell Sal I've been trying to get him on too. But he's busy. He got a lot of stuff on his phone. I'll make sure. Oh yeah, he seems like he's busy all the time. But I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you to get back to the NFL. Stick with this attitude, man. You got a good attitude, and the opportunity to come. And I think Tony's got a few more questions for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I only have one. I'm a collectibles guy, so I have to ask, being a multi-sport player and a fan of multiple sports, did you have a baseball card or sports card collection as a kid?
No, but I did keep every home run ball in it looked like glass boxes, but they were plastic, and I kept them in my room as a pyramid. And I was obsessed.
Nice.
Every home run ball I kept it.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, I was obsessed with that.
So if I'm able to, I don't know, Matt, you can't see this picture, correct?
I can see that. Yeah,
you can. That. Okay. Again, I want to shout out really quick to our Maulers guy. He is a huge Maulers guy. He is one of your biggest fans, of course, Kyle Oletta as well. But he puts these graphics together, and I just think they're amazing. Especially, a shout out of yourself. And I just wanted to throw it up there one more time for everyone out there, that's watching. Big shout out to him. At Pitt Maulers Day 1. So I just thought it was a great pick and a great piece, and you in uniform. So it was a nice touch.
Yeah, it is awesome. I don't know who that is, but I like that account because it's a Day 1 fan. I'll take any Day 1.
Yeah, I mean I believe you did retweet that picture as well. So he's ecstatic right now. So he's still big fanboy right now. You know what I mean? So why not?
We'll take it every time.
Absolutely. Tony, are you good?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
So, I mean, you did bring up earlier Michigan State. So my question, before we do let you go, of course, I know you're a busy man. So again, thank you so much for taking the time. As a junior in 2018 with Michigan State, you did make the transition from defensive end to tight end. I believe during the practice preseason. My question is, which is a better feeling, laying someone out or running downfield and putting 6 on the board?
Laying somebody out.
Love it. I just your mentality, like your energy you were bringing. I swear that's what you're going to decide. You
can't do that. You literally can't do that anywhere else in the world.
Right. And not get arrested or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's doing it for a living.
Yeah, so I embrace every kickoff rep I possibly can because that's the best.
Now to end the show, to end the live, again, I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're a busy guy.
You're good. All right.
Oh, I appreciate it. No, absolutely. Well, we definitely appreciate that. Now, at this part, at this part of the show, towards the end, we like to go ahead and just give you the floor. This is your platform. We started this as a Facebook page out of nothing, and then it's grown pretty much. And we appreciate it when especially somebody like yourself that has been drafted and is on a team that has come onto the show. We appreciate it, so much, and it means so much to us. So we like to go ahead and give you the floor, give you this platform to say whatever you'd like to say. Any shout outs that you may have, anything that you may want to get off your chest, whatever the case may be. This time is yours. So if there's anything you want to go ahead and spill out, it's all for you, Matt.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'll just talk off my head. Really what I'm thinking is I guess just like to anyone who's listening and like gonna watch the USFL, we really appreciate the support because it truly is gonna be a lot of guys that that have the talent to play in the NFL, and it's gonna be good football. And we're actually playing for something now. We have cities, people are getting paid. There's incentives, and so it's very exciting. And I can't wait to compete with a bunch of other people at a very high level. And there's a lot to prove. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. Nice comments, everything. It means a lot, but just definitely a lot to prove still at a professional level. So I know that there's a lot in front of me that I got to do, and I'm really excited for my team, and I think it's awesome that you guys started this podcast, and it's growing, and that's just that's basically entrepreneurship, and I respect that a lot. Doing your own thing, and I hope it continues to grow, and I'll try and help get as many viewers as possible. I think that's cool because you guys are bringing attention to people like me who, use it to try and get their name out there. So I appreciate it.
No, and we appreciate the comment and the kind words. We actually also started something that was called hashtag Operation USFL Hunger, and that's for guys that had not gotten drafted, and we feel that should have been. So we're looking forward to that March 10th date. For guys that we have brought on that are looking for that opportunity as well. And now, speaking of which, come March 10th, you're all set. You have your spot. Is there any friends out there or anyone that you have in mind that you feel that may be missing out that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, I got a few that come to mind. I got a few. The one name that just came first to my mind was Damon Giuseppe. I don't know if you recognize the name. He had the story of signing with the Browns, and he had the big punt return. He was homeless in Florida. If you want to look him up, you can. It's a crazy story. He is a great athlete. We work out every day out here in Phoenix. He's a low 4.4 guy, great routes, natural hands. He'll take a kick return to the crib. He led JUCO and kick return touchdowns back before he got signed to the Browns. He hasn't been drafted, and it would be great to see him in the league. Wow, I don't want to miss any of my close friends that I know deserve it.
No worries. We won't hold you to it. We're putting you on the spot, and that's why we're live, and that's why I think we're kind of unique in that way. A lot of things are pre-recorded and things like that, but I think we're when it comes to grassroots, we're one of the few that go live. So we appreciate you guys coming on because it is live, so anything can happen, and we put you on the spot, and we appreciate it. So
yeah, and there's two other ones I do want to say that even if they weren't my friends, they need to be in this league. Is my two running backs from the Conquerors. If you watch the Spring League film, these guys literally just dominated and just were bowling. And his name's Jordan Salima and Shola. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's spelled Sola, and then his last name I was just butcher it. But our running back were unreal running NFL running backs. Personally, 100%. And so they were drafted. I know it's hard because it's a very competitive draft pool. So. And you guys got guys like Mike Weber, who I didn't even know was going to be in the league. And Mike Weber, he cut us up at Ohio State when I was playing against him. Unbelievable. I remember watching him grow up. And like Davion Smith, you want to know something else crazy personal about me since I have the floor? I grew up a Michigan fan, right? So I grew up a Michigan fan. Now I hate them. But I grew up Now he's going to be like with us. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. So, but
friendly competition now, though.
Yeah.
Within the team, yeah.
But
showing the hate, showing the love. It's all good. Whatever you want to put out there, it's fine with me. This is live, baby. So I don't mind. I don't care at all. So let's go for it.
Yeah. Honestly. So,
yeah. So guys, before we do let our special guest go for the evening, any last words, any comments you want to give him or say to him?
No, the only thing I got, you got any good stories from camp with the Chargers?
Stories.
Anything that happened in camp that you'll take away, you'll remember for the rest of your life. Obviously playing in the NFL, but
and that you're okay with saying live too as well. So.
Yeah. Family friendly.
Man, I'm trying to think. No, really, besides like everyone just driving around like Lamborghinis and Corvettes like it was nothing. That was just mind blowing to me every day pulling in the parking lot. But other than that, no. I mean, that team was that team was awesome. I don't know that those guys. Justin Herbert, greatest dude. Just like always better with you. It doesn't matter if you're a low guy like me or Keenan Allen. But yeah, I don't really have any crazy stories. It was good guys to be around. My tight end coach, he played at Michigan. He was tight end at Michigan, but nothing crazy.
All right. Thanks.
Very good. Tony?
Yeah, I'll ask a somewhat personal question. I have a son. He's going to be a senior this year. He plays 6A. He starts both sides of the ball, punt, kick, return. I'm his dad, but I'm going to say he's a star. What would be your one piece of advice for him moving forward to his senior year and beyond?
Oh, is he planning to play in college?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then my advice would be don't worry about about college or anything like that. It sounds cliche, but really just like you gotta just enjoy the moment because that thing goes by so fast. And like college football is fun, NFL is so special because it's your dreams. But I don't know if there was many more things more fun than Friday Night Lights. Like,
yeah,
I don't think much things more fun than that. So that senior season definitely special. Like, and I didn't get to play my senior season, but yeah, I would just enjoy that, not worry about the future or like anything. That just enjoy each game.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Live for today, not tomorrow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. And just don't hold back. Like just because like, you're going if you're like a college prospect, like I know some coaches pull guys back because they want to like keep them safe. I just do your normal thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much. Matt, I want to thank you so much for taking the time once again for joining us. And it was a complete honor to have you on the show. Love to have you back, maybe during the season, playoff time, whatever the time may be. Love to have you back. It was great having you, so we appreciate it. And, thank you so much. Can't thank you enough. We appreciate it. It helps us and helps us grow. And the kind words that you did mention, us starting this, we appreciate it so much. So,
Thank you.
Yeah. You guys having me. Sure. It was a great invite time. It was great. I always love talking football or sports related.
absolutely. Well, this ladies and gentlemen, USFL Network Live. This is Matt Seybert. Follow him on Twitter at MattSeybert82. Make sure to get on Twitter and follow him. Great attitude, great all around individual. A lot of talent, as we can see in the past. We're going to see it moving forward, and many good things to come from Matt. So thank you so much once again, Matt, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Take care.
All right, guys, that was Matt Seybert. So we're not finished just yet with the live. We do have a special guest, a special co-host as well. He is a guest as well. Tony, you want to let our viewers know listening, what your background is and, what exactly it is that you, what you do.
What the heck it is that I do, right?
What do you do, man? What do you do? What do you do?
All kinds of random stuff. No, about 15 years ago, I started covering mixed martial arts. I wrote for a number of magazines and websites and did that for a long time, doing, countless interviews. I had a radio show, was on Sirius XM for some time, and just had an all-around great time doing it. About 3 or 4 years ago, it just started to, I felt a little bit of the burnout, and I just wanted to kind of go back to my roots of the sports I loved watching and playing and talking about as a kid. Kind of baseball, basketball, football were kind of my things. Collecting sports cards was always my thing. So I'm like, let's try and do something with my experience and whatever knowledge I have, whatever you want to call it, and kind of meshing those. So I was pitching ideas to a number of places, and eventually the idea kind of got some traction. So right now I'm doing a bunch of interviews with current and former professional athletes about their involvement in, sports cards, memorabilia, man caves, just fun, nostalgic stuff. Nothing. I mean, the world's a tough enough place now. I keep it pretty light and straightforward, and it's gone really well. I write and work for a couple of platforms on top of having a normal 9-to-5 job, so we stay pretty busy.
So pretty much what you do, it's like MTV Cribs, but for sports memorabilia.
We did a TV pilot, and that is kind of the pitch, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did it.
Okay.
I went to Gus Farrat's house, the former NFL quarterback. We went to his house, sat down at his kitchen table. He brought out his baseball card collection. His sons were there. We got to spend the afternoon with the whole family, recorded a show. And so, yeah, actually, I've been trying to pitch an actual show as well. A lot of it's audio, or just stuff like we're doing here. And I kind of spun that off into a podcast. It's kind of on the back burner a little bit right now with other things going on. But so, trying, print, digital, trying to do something visual. It's a little bit
right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Webb, I know you guys are still friends. I assume you still talk on a daily basis or so.
We look past the baseball rivalry. And
right. Yankees, Red Sox. Right.
Yankees, Red Sox.
So
that night, that 2003 with Aaron Boone, he's the one that told me about Aaron Boone.
Yeah.
He's the one that ruined my night that night. And I'll never forget that.
It's crazy the stuff you remember, but yeah, that's clearly one of the most memorable moments of. Was it 1640? Yeah. 1640. Yeah.
Webb is a sponge when it comes to things like this too.
I know. I knew it back 15, 20 years ago, whatever the hell that was at this point.
2003. It's 20 now.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's nuts.
Yeah. But
20 years ago.
Yeah, a long time.
God. Yeah.
So
here we are.
Yeah. So we brought you on because we want to talk about a little USFL. I know they don't have cards right now for 2022, or any memorabilia because heck, the players just got drafted last week.
Yeah.
There's not much you can put out. Is there any plans or anything that is going to happen? Do you know of for this season?
Initially, we heard at the shop that they were going to produce a card set, so I'm hoping that does pan out now that things are kind of aligning a little bit. That would be awesome. Before that, if we're not talking this year, we're talking 1984 and 85 were the last USFL cards, so which are great sets. Don't get me wrong; they're iconic sets, but that's what we'd be talking about.
Why are the 1984 and 85? I know the league was short-lived, but why are they iconic?
Well, the 84 set, first of all, anything from like 1980 through the late 90s, it's considered the junk era because the production, I mean, they're still printing cards, I feel like, from 1987 tops. There's so many of every single card that it's hard to find any true value in that time frame. I mean, you can get Hall of Famers rookie cards for $1. Like it's nuts. There are pockets, but for the most part, it's incredibly overproduced and there's not really a ton of value. The 84 and 85 USFL sets are kind of one of the exceptions to the rule. They were printed in much shorter form than the other football products of that day. The 1984 set, it has the rookie cards, the first cards of Jim Kelly, of course, Steve Young, Reggie White, Herschel Walker, who was basically a god back in the day, right? Teams would have traded their whole squads to get him. So that 84 set, yeah, you can see them there. They're beautiful cards. It's such an 80s card set, just looking at it, There's Doug Flutie's 85 USFL rookie, of course, yeah. That was the 85 set. The Flutie was kind of the star of the 85 set. So obviously there's not as much value in Flutie as there would be Kelly, Young, White, obviously, but it's still a great card, a great set. The raw cards of those superstars go for a couple $100. The grading cards has changed the game. PSA and BGS and SGC are kind of the big three grading companies.
Okay.
Those cards at high grade, you don't even see them. There are 7 Reggie White PSA 10s of that rookie card in existence in the world. 7.
Wow.
So you don't even get the opportunity to buy them. It's that hard to find and that scarce. So there's more, like there's a handful of Steve Youngs and a handful of Jim Kellys, but I mean, the PSA 10 goes for $3 to $5 grand easy. The Youngs a tad more than that. If you can find a Reggie White, you're paying 5 figures. I mean, there's real value in high grade cards of those USFL cards, and they're gorgeous cards. They're right in our wheelhouse, like in our 10 to 12 to 14-year-old wheelhouse, So it was a great era, and the USFL captured some of those legendary rookie cards, a few years before Topps did. So yeah.
So I'm a Breakers guy. I'm covering the Breakers. Tell me about Marcus Dupree, man. I watched 30 for 30, and that's the reason why I decided to choose the Breakers, of course, with the sweet jersey. But
that's a fair reason. That's a fair reason. Well, here we go. We're looking at there's the Jim Kelly I was talking about, right? There's the Steve Young that we were just pictured. You did a better job of picturing it than I am. There's the gorgeous Reggie White rookie. I have a 7, so not nearly the 10. But I do also, in my actual collection, have your Marcus Dupree right there. Look at that. Bam.
Oh, wow. There you go. There you go,
So,
Webb.
He is in there. So, he was a stud. And like you said, that 30 for 30 has shed a lot of light for a lot of people and how spectacular he was, and then kind of the unfortunate, events that unfolded all throughout his professional career. But yeah, he was a stud. And that was one thing the USFL did so well, is sign some of those guys. They lured those guys with big money, but they got the biggest names those few years. That window, they were signing guys in the NFL. The NFL couldn't touch some of those guys. I mean, that's pretty monumental, even for a short window of time that they were in existence.
Right, and Herschel Walker, didn't he sign for like $3 million?
Yeah, I think Young had, what was Young, 10 years for $40 million, so $4 million a year. Like they were signing guys, and they were locking them up long term. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, that 30 for 30, I don't know, 30 for 30 special there. No small potatoes. It's a great series.
Yeah, it is.
Really good series, and definitely check it out.
Yeah. So like I said, I love the cards. They're perfect, and I'm hoping that the USFL can manage to pull it off again. The interesting thing is, though, a lot of the guys that were drafted, in the NFL or have had some success actually have cards. So like Lauletta and some of the quarterbacks and some of the more well-known backs have cards. So that's kind of a cool angle too. Like if you're watching the USFL game this spring or summer, you're like, oh man, Lauletta's getting hot. And we as collectors will then go try and find cards. So you might see an uptick in some of these guys' cards if they get hot. You never know. So yeah, there's always something out there to track down and collect if you're looking to do that. But
it's like the stock market; it goes up and down. It's your time to sell. It's your time to buy, or Bitcoin, whatever way you want to.
I work in the industry, and I tell people that every single day. It truly is. And during the pandemic, it was even crazier. It's cooled off a little bit, but there were days we'd walk into the shop and like, oh my God, this card went up $200 overnight. Like you literally would have to check these things. So yeah, like I said, it's cooled a bit now, but there's still a hint of that left in the game right now. But yeah, it was the Wild West when the pandemic was, going and people were home and you had a little extra money, a lot of time on your hands, all that perfect storm. Like the market went absolutely crazy.
So I know you were talking about the junk era before.
Yeah.
Are we currently in a junk era, or is it in my best interest to save every single USFL card that I could possibly find? So in 30 years, someone else is talking about the card that I have in my hand.
Well, in general, it is of my opinion that we are in another junk era. I'm not saying anything. The USFL could produce a great product, keep it really limited, and do really well with it. But in general, Topps is printing baseball cards like crazy. Panini's printing cards like mad. Again, there is value, and there is value to be had and found. And there can be some growth, but there's a lot of stuff out there that's deemed as rare or hard to find that is not not remotely rare or hard to find. But the USFL, who knows? I mean, they could put out a lot of the high-end products are very limited, and they offer autographed cards and memorabilia cards and all kinds of crazy stuff. They even put cleats on cards now. Like it's wild. The cards are 7 inches thick, but I mean, if the USFL kind of can hit a home run with a product, there can definitely be value there for sure.
And now, as far as manufacturers, we have Topps, Panini, things like that you had mentioned. Is there like a top dog in your eyes as far as a card manufacturer?
Well, the game is completely changing here in a few years. Fanatics just bought the license for basically every major sport. So in the next 2 to 4 years, Fanatics is going to kind of be running the game. Right now, Panini has the only official football license. So they have the only right to produce NFL cards anyway. So every product that comes out is Panini, whether it says it's Elite or Donruss or whatever. They're all Panini. So Panini's kind of king in football. Topps has the only official baseball license. So Panini will produce baseball cards, but they can't use the logos or insignias, so they're airbrushed. So it's kind of a little cheesy, So right now, Topps and Upper Deck has hockey, and that's the only major license they have. But they've been trying to jump into other markets now that the NIL's wide open. There a lot of companies now producing a lot of college stuff, which is, I think it's really cool to see. But it kind of in every sport, there's one major company that has the license, and that's kind of going to all change because Fanatics is going to own it all here in a few years.
Right. So I mean, if USFL did move forward with the card, do you think Panini would be the spot right now?
That they're not the NFL, so I mean they could. It's wide open.
Well, right. I mean, you did mention football wise, so I was thinking maybe staying in the same category.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, that would be a great. Panini's a fan. I mean, they produce great cards. That across the board. There's lower end stuff. There's mid end stuff. There's super high end. So, and Topps has been around for 100 years. 75, but so they've been around and they produce fantastic products too. Upper Deck is kind of my all-time favorite. I love Upper Deck products, and they're doing a bunch of AEW and wrestling stuff now, and they're doing really nice products. Upper Deck always does a great job. If it were up to me, which it's clearly not, Upper Deck would be a great spot, I think, for some USFL cards.
Now, if you get any word, moving forward, USFL is coming out with some cards. Let us know.
I will. I'll buy them up. I'll buy boxes. Break packs on our next video.
Absolutely.
We'll pull the Kyle Lauletta. We'll pull the Seybert, right? We'll pull something out of there.
I think it's Seybert.
Cool. Honestly, I think it'd be cool for those guys to have their first cards too.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. No, that's fine. No, I know it, and I wanted to throw that in there because I was just waiting to mess it up, so I wanted to.
I was testing. That was the test, right? No, but it would be cool. I think, and that's like I said, that's kind of my angle. I'm interviewing athletes about that. So for a lot of these guys to have their first card would be a great thing for them and a really fun conversation for me, to be honest with you. So.
Right, and I mean, when their career is over down the line, 20 years from now, and that USFL card is their first official card, it's got to be worth, depending on what they do, it may be their only card. It's going to be special to them. And if they go on to the NFL or back to the NFL, it's going to make it even more, prestige or special in some sort of way, or in a collectibles eye as well. So
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Tony, I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
What is your top collectible memorabilia thing that you have? It's your holy grail.
I'm not giving you that. I'll tell you off there.
All
That's in the vault.
I didn't say the most value. I said just something that was the coolest, even as a kid, something from back in the day, anything.
Oh, man.
You're a big Griffey guy.
89 Upper Deck Griffey is iconic. Obviously, that's kind of the easy answer. Jordan stuff. I mean, I'll Jordan. There's a Jordan's rookie was 86, 87 Fleer technically, but he also had a card in 1984-85 Star, which is like an off-brand kind of random company that's only around for a few years. That's also considered like a rookie. Not to nerd out too much, but. There was a card in 1985 that Nike produced. It was like a postcard size card, pretty limited. And it was the actual original picture of the Jumpman. And I think that, to me, that's one of the coolest cards in existence. It's literally the Jumpman photo. Like, there's nothing more iconic than the Jumpman. For it to be like actually produced back in 85. I mean, to me, that's pretty spectacular.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming on and helping out.
Yeah, man.
It was an honor. I've been watching this for 20 years now. I've been
Hell yeah.
For 20 years. So
Tony, before you go,
when you reached out to me about this in particular, I was so happy for you. I know our comments and messages back and forth. Truly, I think it's awesome. I hope you guys take this to the moon.
Yeah, thank you.
We as well. Last question from myself.
Yeah.
USFL related. It went from 83 to 85. And then we all know what happened, with that 30 for 30 and the whole story, politics, things like the NFL, lawsuit. We don't talk that, but do you see the USFL succeeding moving forward this time around with the investments?
I think it can be done. I think they're playing the right time of the year. I think that was a big thing back in the day. I think it's great. I mean, every sport's year round, so there's no reason you wouldn't watch football in the spring and summer. I mean, back in the 60s, 50s, 70s, even 70s, that might be a little weird, but the sports news cycle doesn't stop. So there's no reason you couldn't enjoy football in the spring. If they put a quality product out there in the field and get some name recognition, I think they can hang for sure.
And of course, we hope so, because we want to keep this going as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, Tony Webb, thank you so much. Tony, I want to thank you for joining us. Pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for being on. I'd love to have you on once again.
Yeah, just let me know. I'm here. I'm around.
Absolutely. And Webb, thank you as always for being the co-host, joining the show. And Ace, if you're watching, if you're out there, hope you're enjoying your time. We miss you. He's been on every live with us, so he's missed. He's our guy. But yeah, thank you so much, Tony, for filling in and for jumping on. So I appreciate it.
Anytime. I'll be your substitute teacher whenever you need. Whenever someone calls out sick, let me know.
All right, very good. Well, thank you guys so much for sticking around. Thank you everyone that has tuned in and that will tune in later on. This is the USFL Network Live, and we're one of a kind. So you guys, thank you so much, and you guys have a great night. You take care.
See ya.